If you're an older man who still masturbates, let me ask you something. Have you ever questioned whether it's actually healthy past the age of 50 or 60? Or maybe you've quietly worried that it could be causing harm you can't see. If so, you're not alone. This subject is surrounded by myths, outdated beliefs, and a shortage of clear, trustworthy information. This is one of the most common yet least discussed concerns among men in their later years. And once you look at the research, it's clear why the confusion exists. Studies show that while most men over 60 continue to masturbate, many do so uncertain about the true impact, whether it affects their hormones, their prostate, or even their performance with a partner. That's why today, we're going to have an open, science-based conversation. I'll walk you through 10 surprising benefits of masturbation later in life. And just as importantly, 10 potential risks you need to know about to make sure your practice stays healthy. Let's start with the positives. The first benefit, it helps maintain penile health. When you get an erection, blood flows into the spongy tissues of the penis called the corpora cavernosa. You can think of this as a kind of workout. Just like exercise keeps muscles flexible, regular erections help maintain tissue elasticity, which is critical for achieving and sustaining firmness as you age. Second, it supports prostate health, and this one is big. Several large studies, including a well-known Harvard project, have linked frequent ejaculation to a noticeably lower risk of prostate cancer. The idea is that regular release helps flush out built-up secretions and potentially harmful substances from the prostate ducts. Third, it strengthens the pelvic floor. The rhythmic contractions that occur during orgasm engage muscles like the pubococcygeus. A strong pelvic floor is essential for erectile function, ejaculatory control, and even preventing urinary leakage, an issue that becomes more common as men age. Fourth, it lowers the stress hormone cortisol. In today's high-pressure world, that's a huge benefit. Research shows orgasm causes a sharp drop in cortisol, which helps regulate blood pressure and ease anxiety, making it a natural tool for both heart health and mental well-being. Fifth, it triggers a release of powerful feel-good chemicals. Orgasm floods the brain with dopamine, the molecule of motivation and pleasure, and oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Together, they boost mood, create a sense of well-being, and strengthen emotional balance, which is invaluable for mental health. Sixth, it helps with self-detection of potential health issues. Regular self-pleasure makes you familiar with your own anatomy, which means you're more likely to notice early warning signs of conditions like testicular cancer, penile fibrosis, or other abnormalities that might otherwise go unnoticed. Seventh, it improves sleep quality. After orgasm, the release of oxytocin and prolactin, combined with the drop in cortisol, creates a natural sedative effect. This helps the body fully relax, making it easier to drift into deep, restorative sleep, something that often becomes harder with age. Eighth, it enhances blood circulation throughout the pelvic region. Beyond just the penis, masturbation boosts blood flow to the bladder, prostate, and surrounding muscles. This helps prevent problems linked to poor circulation or stagnation in these areas. Ninth, it can be used as a training method for ejaculatory control. For men who struggle with finishing too quickly, masturbation offers a private way to practice techniques like the stop-start method. This builds awareness of your body's signals and improves control, which can then carry over into partnered sex. 10th, it keeps your sexual desire and brain pathways active. The brain is the biggest sex organ, and by regularly engaging in sexual thoughts and stimulation, you keep the circuits for arousal and desire firing. This helps preserve a healthy libido and responsiveness, even if you don't have a regular partner. Now let's look at the potential downsides. The first risk is social isolation. This happens when self-pleasure stops being part of a balanced sexual life and instead replaces real human intimacy. The key here is awareness. Make sure the habit adds to your life rather than pulling you away from it. The second risk is tiny skin injuries. This usually happens when masturbation is too rough or done without enough lubrication. These micro-tears can lead to irritation, inflammation, and even open the door to infections. The fix is simple. Be gentle and use a good water-based lubricant. The third risk is desensitization. If you always stimulate yourself the same way, with the same pressure and rhythm, your brain can get conditioned to respond only to that exact sensation. Over time, this can make it harder to get aroused or reach orgasm with a partner. The solution is to mix things up, change your technique, rhythm, and focus. The fourth risk is masking underlying erectile dysfunction. If you can only get an erection while masturbating but struggle to do so with a partner, it may be tempting to ignore the problem. But this pattern can hide serious health issues like diabetes, heart disease, or hormone imbalances. If you notice it happening, it's important to talk to a doctor. The fifth risk is nerve compression from poor posture. Many men masturbate hunched over or sitting on a hard chair, which can put pressure on the pudendal nerve in the pelvis. Over time, this may cause numbness or pelvic discomfort. The better choice is to do it in a relaxed, supported position. For example, lying down comfortably. The sixth risk is using masturbation as your only emotional escape. Relying on it to cope with stress, boredom, or frustration can create a dependency. It's important to have other healthy outlets too, like exercise, meditation, or talking things out with someone you trust. The seventh risk is guilt and shame. Many men were raised with strong cultural or religious taboos around self-pleasure, and those feelings can linger. If they cause distress, speaking with a sex-positive counselor can help reframe masturbation as the natural practice it is. The eighth risk is pelvic congestion. While too little ejaculation can raise prostate risks, going to the other extreme, multiple times a day for long periods, may cause heaviness or aching in the testicles and pelvic area. The solution is simple: moderation and listening to your body. The ninth risk is a temporary drop in semen quality. This only matters if you and your partner are trying to conceive. While daily ejaculation doesn't harm long-term fertility, it can reduce sperm concentration in the short term. Research suggests that waiting 2 to 5 days between ejaculations is best for optimal sperm quality. The 10th risk is losing touch with reality, often through heavy reliance on pornography. If masturbation is always tied to extreme or unrealistic porn, it can distort expectations and make it harder to connect with a real partner. The key is balance. Use imagination or real memories instead of depending solely on digital stimulation. So, as you can see, masturbation in later life isn't simply good or bad, it's a tool. And like any tool, the results depend on how you use it. Practiced with awareness, moderation, and respect for your body, it can be a powerful ally for health and vitality. I hope this discussion was helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What point surprised you the most today? Share it in the comments below so we can continue the conversation. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more clear, research-based advice on men's health. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.